Howdy, y'all. Thanks for watching. I haven't been posting for a while because I've been really pretty busy doing stuff. Last week I did my very first open mic participation, and I did it completely on a whim. I had a guy that was managing the open mic session at this bar called, it's not a bar, it's a private club called Kamikazes. So he's been telling me I need to go and play my pipes for about a year, and I just kept having excuses not to go. So I had a friend that was, he's still a friend, but I have a friend who is going to give me a queen size bed. Well, you know, life is complicated and I'm not in a hurry because I have a place to sleep. So he canceled, and then all of a sudden I had no excuse not to go play. So anyway, I got my drum runs together and hopped in the car. This is completely, totally unplanned, and went over to this private club, and I was warmly welcomed, and you know, bagpipes, and I warmed up outside, and I had a couple people were listening, and I have the impression of myself that I'm rhythmically challenged. So that's just the way my brain thinks about my own playing. So anyway, I went to this club, and they were happy to see me, but they were busy doing their own setup and everything like that, so I just kind of sat in a corner and stayed out of the way. And I had already warmed up outside, you know, just playing my normal warm-up tunes. And a couple of people came up and chatted with me, and I kind of told them that I'm the most rhythmically challenged piper that I know. So, you know, I'm feeling kind of, these other people are professional open mic people, and other people that do professional music that are showing up. So I'm keeping my demeanor of calmness and sitting in a corner, and I ordered a coffee. Now, this is the first time I've ever done any of this, so now I understand that I probably should have bought some food and stuff like that. So, okay, you know, life is a learning experience that we walk through. So, anyway, all the cats are congregating. Hi, Jules. Sweetie. So, anyway, he doesn't know what he wants to do. So anyway, I'm sitting in a corner, and I'm feeling really calm and collected. And so I was waiting for things to happen, and the house band played to warm up the crowd, which was cool. Their music was pretty good. And then there was another act that came along that was a little off color, but that's fine. You know, it's a bar alcohol environment. And then after that, because these are local people that go to the bar and everything normally, they told me I was number one to play. So okay, that's when the nerves started to come in. So when they waved at me to come up on the stage, they said, well, let's do a sound check and see how loud your pipes are, and if you need any mic or anything like that. So, well, I lit up the drum runs, and I had like 3 people, and they all ducked and went that way because my drum runs are really, really loud, and the acoustics in this club are really, really good. The sound comes back out, and it's just small enough that everything happens in real time. I get my feedback in real time. Come on, Xenia. So, anyway, I lit up the pipes, and I tuned them in, and they got off the stage, and I didn't have a plan, and I didn't know what tunes I was going to play, so I just kind of ad-libbed it. Now, in the piping community, I am really, really self-conscious because when I go to the piping community, I am kind of stuck in piping competition mode, which is, MSRs and standing in front of a judge who's going to critique every little thing. And so all of a sudden I started getting the jitters really bad, and so I just kind of shut off my brain as far as playing. And well, I started out with the Mermaid, and then I went into Glenfoylen or Fulin. I'll always never know because I know how it's spelled, F-E-U. So if it's a German term or a Celtic term name, or however it works, if it's German, it's Glenfoylen. If it's anything else that I'm aware of, it's Glenfulen. So I went into this tune, which has a really strong beat in it. It kind of amped up the people in the crowd. And then, come on now. Come on. So, anyway, I went into Glenfoylen, and I was holding together pretty well with that, and it has a good beat to it, and the tune tends to get people rocking in, and at that point they started doing the lights, flashing the lights, and I kind of went into overdrive. So now, some of you guys that have watched most of my videos, or if you go back, I defaulted to what I know, and I've had a cold for the last couple of days, and a scritch in my throat. So, anyway, I went into, and a lot of pipers, okay, I know I could play the tunes really fast, okay, so I went into 79's Farewell to Gibraltar, and then Atoll and Breadalbane Gathering, and I played those tunes blazingly fast. And I made a couple of mistakes, but the audience did not care at all. So I gotta watch my time here because I gotta be to work in a little bit. So in Atoll and Breadalbane Gathering, and I played that tune really fast, and I was so overwhelmed and I was so jittery that I could barely hold on. This is my first public event where I'm not being judged by perfection, I'm being judged by my performance. And I generally do pretty well with this because I'm not, in public, I'm not really shy or self-conscious. And that wasn't it. I think it was just the being so amped up. With doing something that I have never done before, and I'm used to trying to be perfect in my playing, and after this experience, perfect is a relative term, because when I finished my set, I kind of broke down and was going to go into the next set, but I didn't. When I went, I didn't have a plan. I didn't even know what I was going to do. I kind of felt, well, if I play slow and steady and make sure I get every grace note, okay, it's going to be boring for a general crowd. Now, the one thing you have to understand is I am the first piper to have ever played at this club. So, they didn't have any idea of what to expect. And there's a local high school here called Ben Lomond, and they have their own pipe band. And these other pipers are used to playing at a high school level of piping. So it's still controlled and moderated, which is good. That's not a bad thing. Okay. I don't know if anything is suppressed as far as playing what you do as a person separately. So anyway, I broke down and I did a razor sharp cutoff, and then blam, it was the noise from the reaction of the crowd was physical. Now, when I was playing, they had red, green, yellow lights, all these lights flashing, and that wasn't even a distraction. Actually, it helped, because then I wasn't looking at the audience. Because the pipes are so loud, I had a hard time gauging what the audience reaction was. But when I did my cutoff, it was a physical noise, like a wave that just totally hit me. And then I was so overwhelmed, and I had only played for like 3 or 4 minutes, maybe not even that, and there was nothing in my head, and I couldn't play because I hadn't planned on anything to carry on. So now I know what I need to do when I do my next appearance at this club. So what I did is, when I apologized, which I don't know if I was supposed to apologize, but I had the jitters so bad that I made it through. And I had a couple of squeaks and stuff like that because I was playing really fast. And I kind of saw people in the kitchen. They were enjoying it. I saw that out of my peripheral vision because I can see back to about here. That's just what I've got. I can see back to here and forward at the same time. I don't know how to explain it. So I was completely overwhelmed, and didn't know what to do next, and someone shouted Amazing Grace. Now, okay, I am fully prepared and willing to play Amazing Grace as many times as people ask for it. Okay, I have no problem with that. There's some pipers that hate the tune now because they play it so much. Well, guess what? The more you play it, the better you get at it, and then you can make it your own tune, which is unique from the straight grade 4 performance where it's just a tune. So anyway, I got off the stage and went down, and I was so overwhelmed by the response that I was speechless. So I went straight outside of the bar, and about, I don't know, 5 or 6 people followed me, and they all wanted to talk to me. And before I left the bar, a couple of people came up and gave me their business cards. One of them's a booking agent, and I have to behavior I have to change is I use my job as an excuse not to participate in other stuff. So that's holding me back at that point. But I have a booking agent's card. Other people want me to play at other places. And then some other people came up and invited me to do some open mics at some other places. Well, I work, and I don't get off until 8 o'clock in the evening. So, and we got bids coming up, so I might be able to working earlier. But that cuts into my practice time. But my practice time is so that I can perform. It, vicious circle. So anyway, the one thing I noticed is that the next day, I went through a huge crush because that performance, it didn't take away from my experience or anything like that. It was just so overwhelming that I don't know if I was filled with energy, and then when the energy topped off and tapered out, I just went through this whole huge depressive crush. I don't know if that's normal. Maybe it's normal when a person first starts performing for the general audience. But I do know one thing. Now, the internet is pretty vicious, and I was operating on the internet, YouTube, Reddit viciousness perception of what might happen, and I went through and did my performance anyway, and the general audience is completely different than YouTube audience or Reddit. Or, well, there's a lot of social media things out there, but those are the most, in my opinion, hostile, except for YouTube, which is, in general, because of the Pakistani bagpipes, I get a lot of people contacting me on how to do stuff and make the pipes work, and I've actually made some pretty good YouTube friends on there. So I know that my performance, when I play to the way that I want to express my unique style, and I'm not going to apologize. I'm done apologizing for being slightly different. It was a good experience that I needed to go through. Now I have to get up the bravery to go and do it again. I'm working on a couple of sets so that I can make it 5 or 6 minutes long, and at full speed, the number of tunes that I play at full speed will be completely different. Also, because I was so overwhelmed, I split pretty quickly. Come here, kitty. So, this is Figgy. She's a new cat that just adopted me about a couple weeks ago. And you don't. Now, she's an old kitty cat. She's about 18 years old, and she decided to choose me. So, she's still working out, getting along with the other cats, but they all like when I'm talking. So, there it is. I'm running out of time because I gotta go and do my work. But we'll see what happens. The open mic at Kamikazes is on Thursdays. It starts at 7, and then there's a bunch of other places that will probably be better venues for the quieter pipes, my parlor pipes. We'll see how that works because, you know, the trunk of my car can hold 8 bodies. I call it an 8-body trunk in my Crown Vic. So I can bring a couple of different sets of pipes with my parlor pipes and such. And we'll see where this goes. I just have to make sure that I have the energy to still be able to work and do this. I'm not expecting to be famous. I'm not expecting to become a millionaire or anything else like that. I just want to have fun. And the response of the audience and when I went to leave, you know, it was 6 or 7 people followed me out into the parking lot. They all wanted to talk to me, and they were performers themselves. And so I was actually more interested in their stuff when. And I don't know if this is politically correct, but there's a kid that, by my standards, I don't know what anymore. But he had a Jew's harp, and so I know a tiny bit about the Jew's harp, so I was able to have a conversation with him. And he also had a didgeridoo that was the tuning length. It was shaped a lot, and it was made in Indonesia. It's shaped just like a saxophone. And so I, out of natural curiosity, asked him to play, and he's pretty darn good with the didgeridoo. And then I wanted to contact somebody that only through association, Aaron Shaw from I think it's the Wicked Tinkers, and he's judged me at the Bakersfield Highland Games and stuff like that. And because with the Wicked Tinkers, they have the didgeridoos. Well, this is a didgeridoo that's the same size as a tenor saxophone, and it was pretty cool, and the volume was pretty good, but it's not as loud. Well, I don't know, as a straight didgeridoo, which has more dramatic presence. But this one was pretty cool, and the kid played it, and he's good at what he did. And then he's like, "When are you coming back?" And so even the other performers wanted me back. So maybe what'll end up happening is with my style of playing is I'll be a show opener to get after the warm-up band plays and everything like that. Because I know when I play the first time at some of these other venues that are around here, they're not going to know what to expect unless they've seen me. So I'm not trying to become famous or anything like that. I just want to express the pipes in a sense that I'm comfortable. But I can tell you, the crush that I went through afterwards, I can see why these performers end up having to take amphetamines and stuff like that, because when you expend all of this energy, and then it's like a high, and then you come off the high, and for me, I went through this really deep crush of, well, what in the heck am I going to do next? So I pretty much got a standardized set that I'll play. until it, somebody told me, he said, don't worry about the set, because if people like what you play, the set that you play, they're going to ask for that set all the time, and you're going to get tired of playing that set. And from what I've seen on YouTube and other live performances, yeah, I have this expectation that I'll have plenty of opportunities to improve on my public presence. And here she comes back. Come here, kitty. Meow. She's a very vocal cat. What you doing? Gotcha. She has the cutest face. And she's an old lady kitty. Wow. So, her full name is Figurina Whitetoes, because she looks kind of like Figaro. And so, the Figurina Whitetoes, and then I decided to call her Figgy, with the F, Figgy, for short. And she answers to Figgy. Hi, kitty. Well, she answers to kitty. So anyway, there it is. I'm running out of time. I'm distracted because I need to get going. So anyway, for all my regular watchers, thanks for watching, and I'm grateful that you're still watching. Let your friends know. Pakistani parlor pipes. Oh, by the way, I didn't play my parlor pipes. I played my German pipes, the full-size ones. And, yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what to do next. I need to work on developing my set. I just played that for impromptu. But I need to go to get to work. Thanks for watching. New subscribers, I appreciate all you guys, new subscribers and my existing subscribers. And you know, it just boosts my confidence on a couple of things. And there it is. We'll see what happens from there. I still got tons of projects. And have a good one. Take care. And if you're so inclined, God bless.